didn't quite do what they expected it to do. That it created these, these zombies essentially. Mm-hmm. So the players are at this Atlas base. They have no idea that the higher ups have done something here. They've been experimenting. They took one of the leftovers, I guess you could say, and they've been trying to, who knows, do whatever with it. That's some of the stuff we're going to explore over the season. And so that's really where it all just starts. It's four, regular people stuck in a horrible situation and doing the best they can to survive.
Now, John Malkovich, his character seems like he has a real strong hate for the Atlas Corporation. Is this something that is kind of a group thing? This is a whole group against Atlas, or
they're all Atlas employees, but it seems like they might kind of turn.
Yeah, I mean, if I went to work and was suddenly attacked by a bunch of zombies, I don't think I'd be too happy with my employer either.
So Atlas just ruins everything. All right, we're gonna jump in here. So we got an overview of the map there. Do all the players, do the four different characters play the same way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. The differences are you'll get to see hear their personalities as they talk with each other and they kind of explain what's going on.
Sure. And one of the big questions we get about this is, is this basically, I don't want to say like nothing changed, but is this zombies mode that they know, but now with kind of like exosuits?
Well, I think that there's an expectation that, I mean, people love zombies. Treyarch does such an amazing job, and there's an expectation there that there's some similarities, but at the same time, we want to offer new things, and we want to make sure that players can see, just new gameplay in general. So we really wanted to make sure that it built off of that, and that it kind of kept the heart of what zombies is, and then made its own statement as well. So it starts out pretty similar. You have your weapon. You start out with a pistol, and players can upgrade wall buys and things like that.
Right.
And it just kind of goes from there. I think the big change is that your first goal would be to get your exosuit. You don't start out with one, so players can have exos as well.
Do you have to buy that, or is it just at a certain way?
You sort of unlock where you're going, and you can find where it is in the map.
Okay. Okay, and then one thing that happened earlier, I saw on Twitter, you guys were kind of teasing. Someone kind of broke into Atlas and saw people being experimented on, and what's happening? Is that something that's kind of touched on in this mode, or was that just sort of the setup, like a fun social media thing?
Yeah, that's part of like the baseline of what's going on. Is something's been going, experiments have been happening here down who knows where, and it sort of kind of unlocks that door. What happened? What's going on? And what are we doing here?
Okay. Makes sense. Atlas is a very shady corporation, so.
Yeah, it's not as if, no spoilers for the campaign. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that yet. There's a new weapon in this mode that is not in multiplayer.
Yeah.
First of all, can you tell us about what that is, and then can you tell us if more new weapons are going to be coming?
Sure. So we've called it the Cell 3 Cauterizer, and it's a really good. I don't want to say shotgun. It functions like a shotgun. It's a one-handed weapon, and it just burns through zombies. It's really powerful.
It's one-handed?
It's one-handed. So if you go down, you can't hold two. When you go down in last stand, though, you can only have a pistol or a one-handed weapon, so it's really nice. You can keep this down and kind of clear out the area. You can get it out of the 3D printer, which is sort of a randomized weapon machine.
Oh, it's called a 3D printer?
Yeah, 3D printer.
I thought you might have been joking or something. No,
I like that. I like
that a lot.
I don't know if you can see, if I go up to a wall buy machine, there's the blue kind of glowy gun there.
Right.
It just 3D prints a gun for you. Yeah.
That sounds like Atlas Future Tech.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, we really wanted to highlight, like, this is advanced warfare as well. So here's some new technology and things that tie into it.
Is that weapon, so maybe that weapon was the idea was generated for multiplayer, and they're like, oh, this is too strong. Like, is that how it works when it comes to zombies? And
no,
you're like,
the other way around.
We get the fun stuff, no?
We wanted to have just a room-clearing weapon that specific for zombies that just does damage. Just, you feel great using it. It's got awesome sound, super kickback. Feels really good.
So is it like the new ray gun now? Just like, that's the weapon you want?
As far as I'm concerned, when I'm playing it, that's when I always hope to pull.
Nice.
But we also put in the Widowmaker because it's such a cool gun that's coming out in the DLC pack as well. And we thought, why not? It's really cool. You can also pull that one. Equally powerful. I think one of the cool things about Exo-Zombies is that we've added an upgrade station. So, regardless, if you find a weapon that you really like to play with, be the Bulldog, whatever, you can go and you can upgrade your weapon. You continue to upgrade your weapon, which makes it more and more powerful. Now, eventually, the zombies are going to outweigh your weapon. But while you can be pretty good with what you've got.
Is there any barricading going on, repairing in this?
No, we decided that was one thing where we thought that we wanted the zombies to be able to come out fast. You may notice while they're playing that there's some stations around the world that have red and green signs on it. So that's really like the extra economy is. If it's green, it's a credit bank, and you can go get credits from that.
Okay. So you're encouraging players to move around.
Yeah,
to go find credits.
and once the exos come in, it's pretty much move or die. So
Okay.
you can hold out for a while.
So the Exo survival mode that shipped in the game, it was important for the players to kind of diversify, heavy, medium, light Exos. I don't know if that's in Zombies mode, but can players sort of all use the same weapons, or is it important for them to sort of vary what they have?
They can all use the same weapons. I think it really comes down to what a player likes to run with. What is that player comfortable with? You can decide, do I keep what's in the box? Do I buy the wall buy? And just sort of, once you learn the map and you know where you want to get to and which gun you're happiest with, you can really pull out some really cool tactics.
Okay. So it's not this mode doesn't require like, oh, we need the sniper.
Yeah,
like,
we
need
need
the
a
shotgun.
sniper,
Yeah,
yeah.
we need. Okay. Oh,
Okay,
dogs.
well, zombie dogs.
Do the zombie dogs get exosuits?
No, not yet. That's a great
That was an
idea.
actual question, by the way. I don't know.
Well,
You will see that we have these things called mutators,
Okay.
and they'll start showing up as the round progresses too. And things like we call them the EMZ, which is they're electrified and they can pulse and take out your exo. So once you have exo, there's things you got to steer clear from, things like that. So
That sounds
there's mutators
brutal.
for the.
So when they pulse, do they just deactivate your powers, or does your suit just totally become immobile?
Just your power. So you still have your movement. You lose the extra speed. You lose
Okay.
the extra
The dashes, and
melee
powers
damage and stuff like that. Yeah.
Do you get to buy just exo powers from stations? The Invis, the speed boost, the health boost.
Yeah, so once you get the exo suit, then there's upgrade stations that you can find, and there's different ones that offer different benefits. I don't want to go, give too much away, but
Right. You got to keep. This is the first look. We're not gonna.
Yeah,
we can't
exactly.
give everything away.
Plus, I think that's one of the great parts about Exo-Zombies in general is that there's a lot of exploration. There's a lot of discovering what works for you, and what sort of things do you want to mess with.
So, in the way you've kind of talked about Exo-Zombies leading up to this, it seems like there's more of a focus on a story or like a continuity between these coming packs. How are we going to see that? Is it like cutscenes after completing things, or are you finding things as you go on, like audio logs, or what's going on there?
So I think there's going to be there is a mix of things. The first thing we have a cinematic that plays before, you actually jump into the match as you load into the zombies side of the game side, and then from there there's things around the world that you can find. There's character, talking to other characters that kind of explain what's going on. But we don't want to be like in your face. Here's everything that's going on. We want to have that hint. We want to have those Easter eggs that players can hunt down and that players can find. So there's things that players can do beyond just destroying zombies.
I was about to say, is there any type of like Easter egg type?
Yeah, that's a
content
Zombies
that's going
mode
on?
staple is like fun Easter egg sort of goofy things.
Yeah, I think that the whole point of Exo-Zombies especially was that we wanted players to have a little bit more depth to it. So if those players that just want to blow stuff up and fight the endless horde of the undead, fine. They got that going for them. But those players who really want to dig around and maybe find more of the story, see what's going on, then they can do that.
Sorry, I'm just
Yeah, I'm
watching
just-
over there,
I'm-
trying to-
I'm-
trying
yeah,
to
we're
see what's
experiencing
going on.
this for the
I
first time,
saw
too.
a bunch of lasers come out of there. Is that like a security device in the room or something?
Was it on the ground? I didn't even catch it.
There were like
Yeah,
several
there were
lasers
lasers
coming
just
out
shooting
of,
out of the ground.
Yeah, so that we have traps that players can find that they can purchase. So this is one of the credit booths there where you just got an extra 100 credits. That was also they got the Exo. You can see down in the corner it says Exo. So now, if they want to, they can look for the Exo upgrades, kind of build off that.
Okay.
Interesting.
And then when do the zombies all get the exos sort of at the same time, or is it based on how powerful you are at the time?
It's not based on you. It's based on the progression of the game. So as you're going through rounds, you'll see more and more. We'll sort of replace out. So for every normal zombie, now you have a couple more exos, We throw in some mutators. It just kind of goes on and on.
And does this track? What kind of stats does it track? Does it have like, rounds, like the highest round that you got to? Because that's like the competitive part of it, right?
Kills,
Like
rounds.
leaderboards.
Yep.
Right.
Score. Yep.
So it looked like there was a boomer type zombie that just blew up and it was green everywhere.
Yeah. So that's one of the mutators. This is one of the pickups as well.
Okay.
is hyper damage, which just allows you to
Shred
shred.
zombies.
Yeah,
Oh, great.
and running around punching is amazing. You can. they
Although
just
it applies to your
explode.
punch too.
Yeah.
Oh, please
Any
punch,
weapon you
please
have.
punch.
And that's one of the EMPs, or EMZs that they had. And she kind of saw for a split second there.
Little
till they
bit. Yeah.
Exploded it.
And then the guy that the mutated one that was green, what does he do exactly?
He's sort. His goal is to get up to you and take himself out, essentially.
Okay.
So he stuns, he does damage, allows the other zombies to get in close. If you take him out beforehand, though, you get a nice burst effect that can take
Nice.
out some of the other creatures. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, we see some experimentation down there.
Yeah.
It's like
Yep.
it's kind of disturbing.
Because you always want to go to work on tubes of bodies.
Yeah, of course. I love that. You got a Twitter question there?
Still shuffling through.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and then additionally, we have some new items, some things that you can really use to get ahead in life, but there are things that you can pull out of the 3D printer, you can pull off a wall buy, stuff like that. Again, I don't know how detailed we want to go into that or not, but
And that's up to you.
I guess one thing that we really like is the distraction drone. And what that is it's just a little drone that has like a siren on it and a flashing
that's
light,
awesome.
Kind of flies off, gives you a little break so the zombies are more focused on that.
Oh, that's pretty useful. You can just toss that out and
Yeah.
clump them up, and then
If-
maybe
if you
you
get
have,
it.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, if you get it, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like a random thing, or do you just have
Yeah.
to save up and buy it?
It's
random.
it's in the 3D printer, so it's all kind of depend on what you cycle through.
Okay.
So now I'm going to kick it over to Twitter. C. Jizzle wants to know, is there an ending to Exo-Zombies or is it endless rounds?
So the ending to Exo-Zombies is death. It really is about how far you can get. So
Okay. We
it
might
is-
see it here soon.
It is purely sprawl. Yeah, he's bleeding out right now. So it really is about how far you can get, and as the levels progress, it gets really tough.
Right.
So a lot of fun.
That's interesting.
No one's helping their buddy here.
I
I don't
know,
know what's
come on.
Yeah.
Teammates.
I don't know.
Oh, there we go. Oh,
you go.
this
oh,
is
oh.
So as far as the story goes, you can die relatively early and still catch what you need to catch from the story.
Yeah.
Or how does that work? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that's as the season progresses, you're going to see some different ideas, I guess. Again, I don't want to go
Yeah,
too deep into
right.
it, but there's a whole plan for how things work out, and it's the same 4 characters.
What was the idea behind splitting it up as a season? Because before it's just been like, here's a mode, here's zombies mode. Does this give you more time to?
Yeah, I think
work
it's
on the story or
it's
something like
really
that?
about making it the best we can. I think that there's a lot of passion at the team that has worked on this, and zombies, just a creature, fantastic creature that has a lot of worldwide love, I guess you could say.
Oh, of
So we
course.
wanted to
And
just
they're
make sure
everywhere.
that it really gave it what it deserved, and it really needed really gave it the polish and the love there. So this is one of our infected creatures, and you can see it says you are infected, and so now their timer is running out. And they'll have to find. There's a place in the map that you can find that you can be uninfected essentially, and if you don't,
It's
then
like a cure, like a
cure
injection
station,
thing.
yeah.
And then you die, you become a zombie.
You become a zombie, and then you'll see your buddies running around as.
Wow, that's awesome.
I
But you
kinda
don't have
wanna see
control.
it.
It's
I kind of want to see it. Are we gonna see it?
so they lost.
They lost.
That was the
all
last
got
standing,
wiped.
so
Okay.
you almost saw it.
I think one of the interesting things about Exo-Zombies is that I see that they're constantly moving.
Yeah.
I mean, before it was kind of like, okay, we're just going to sit in this room, board things
Fortify,
up,
hold
fortify, hold it out. Here, it's just complete chaos.
Yeah. What we really wanted to do was make sure that wherever you could get, a zombie could get. So even in the early rounds when there's no exo-zombies, if you have your exosuit and you can boost up, we have zombies that are climbing up walls, we have zombies that are climbing over the buses, just really following you all the time. And so it's really about that adrenaline, survival, how far can you make it, and it's like amps up as you go.
How does that affect how you approach the map design? Because if it's built around fortification, then you can have obviously more fortified areas. But
Right.
if you're always moving, there has to be space to move, right? Like, is the map much bigger?
I wouldn't say it's much bigger. I think it's a decent size. But that said, there's a tactic of hunkering down. There's a tactic of watching each other's back. You can do that. At some point, though, again, you want to have your weapons upgraded. You want to keep making sure that your damage is keeping pace with what the zombies can do and how fast they are and what their health is. So you're gonna either want to maybe hunker down near an upgrade station, or just make sure that you have an easy way to get there so that you can kind of crank things up a little bit.
How crucial is it that everyone on your team is good? Like, if one person is like kind of new and not so great, are they gonna really impede you a whole lot? Or
I don't think so. It was actually kind of cool. We had some playing going on yesterday, and one of the players was amazing, and the other players hadn't really played, and it was really kind of neat to see like this really good player. Everyone else would go down, and this player would be able to just kind of survive, bring people back. It was pretty cool. So I think it depends on are they really want to be a team player? Do they not? But you really can do a lot by yourself.
What goes behind like the balancing in terms of like AI and making sure like the users aren't too strong or whatnot?
There's a ton of play testing, I think, at the core. I mean, we play, when we're in development, it's a daily test that everyone plays, especially our gameplay engineers and our design side. And then we also have a really great QA team, and we also do user research studies. So we bring in the hardcore players, and they just come in and they proved us wrong so many times.
Right.
You find out like, oh, they're not going to live past round 22 or whatever, and they're at round 40, and it's like they're not showing. It's like, all right, we did something wrong here. So it really is just a ton of tweaking.
Interesting.
Are there any special zombies that just didn't make it into the game? They were too powerful, or just didn't work, or?
Again, it's one of those. The good news is there's more coming. Right? So anything that we have ideas for.
Oh, it could maybe come up.
Yeah, it could come down
so
later.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So
that makes sense.
I think that really is one of the great things about having sort of a season of content.
That's what I was going to ask too. In terms of like how far along was the other episodes? Is it to the point where if the community is requesting like, oh, this was a cool feature, can we get more of that? Could that still happen?
Yeah, I think that one thing that we have very passionate fans. Like I think that's one of the most amazing things about Call of Duty is that there's people that just really love it, and as a developer, that's just so cool. I mean, that's exactly where I am. I think it's so we like to listen. We try to do what's best, right? And there's so many great ideas, and there's so many passionate people that if there's something that maybe we didn't realize how cool it was gonna be, or how much people are going to be passionate about it, then we always try to listen.
How do score streaks factor into this? I see we picked up a turret.
Yeah, so that's we wanted to have a little bit of competition between players.
Okay.
A little bit more, I guess. So they will show up randomly. They drop in a couple places throughout the map, and it's sort of do you want to play as a team player, and maybe your buddy who doesn't have as much as many credits as you, go ahead and see what's in there, or do you want to just run and grab everything while you can and play the vacuum?
Okay.
So it works really great. There's just a couple different things. I think, he has a turret. You can place that.
But not all the ones from like multiplayer in here are.
No, we didn't. So at least for the first one, we wanted to really be pretty tactical in what we gave. But there's some pretty powerful stuff, as well as some bonus, credits, things like that.
I can see you stealing all of them.
What? No, it's a team effort. I mean, you may not be able to answer this right now because potential spoilers or whatnot, but I mean, do we see the other episodes going into different areas, or is it more like we're staying at Atlas?
I won't go into specifics, but the story is going to push beyond this location. Put it that way.
Cool. Did you get to work with the voice actors at all?
I didn't personally. I know, which would have been awesome.
Do you know kind of how they reacted to being approached about this, or what they thought about being in Call of Duty? Because it's a big enough name that even if you don't know games, you know Call of Duty.
Well, I think people were overall intrigued by it, right? Like, Exo-Zombies, what is this? And kind of building off that. And then there's a little bit of a connection with like Malkovich. John Malkovich was in Warm Bodies, and John Bernthal was in Walking Dead. So, there's no, and Rose McGowan was in Planet Terror. There's the zombie connection there. So I don't think it was like brand new zombies. Oh no, but
it wasn't too far fetched.
It was. Yeah, I think it just was intriguing to them.
And it's hard because we're in this live stream situation talking. We can't really hear them super well. the voice acting, from what you guys were saying, it sounds like they had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah,
They
yeah, I
really
definitely
owned it.
think so. I think
Yeah.
we really let the characters come out. They did a great job. Like I think you mentioned earlier, you know, Oz is John Malkovich's character. He really doesn't like Atlas at all, and that'll show through stuff like
nice.
that.
Any more Twitter questions?
Yeah, I'll
Keep
go
them
ahead.
coming.
Yeah. If you guys have any more Twitter questions, make sure to tweet at us at IGN with the hashtag COD, and we'll go ahead and answer them on stream. As we try to survive endless waves of zombies.
Yeah.
No big deal. I tend to be like more of a team player on stuff like this. Like I don't like to, maybe spreading out is beneficial. Maybe you'll find more credit banks or something, but I'm usually like right there with at least one person. That's typically how I like to do this. I haven't played in a while though. I'm looking forward to getting back. Like I haven't played this, of course, but I haven't played zombies mode in a while. Do
Yeah,
you
I
think this will? Oh, sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead.
Do you think that this is going to attract a lot of new players, or do you think this is more like, hey, people like old Call of Duty fans know zombies, and now it's back?
You know, I think that the goal would be both, right? I think that there's enough new things here that people who love zombies from the past or whatever have something that they can discover. They can find new things. They can get new gameplay out of it. And then for obviously new players, everything's new. So just being able to you know, this may be their first taste.
Right. Here's the room I was talking about. Maybe it's not. There was one with like a bunch of lasers on the floor.
On the ground? Yeah,
And is
that's-
that
yep.
like different rooms will have different sort of security systems? Or
Yeah,
traps? Or?
there's traps, so you can purchase them, or one of the pickups that'll show up is called security, and that turns every trap on in the map. So, which could be good or bad. Mostly it's good, but if you have some buddies that are maybe running around on the floor down here, they're going to get lit up too. So you have to be very careful.
So kicking it over to Twitter, Pubstar Styled wants to know, do you have leaderboards for zombies?
Yes. Yeah, there will be leaderboards for zombies.
Okay. I bet a lot of people just got really excited about that answer.
I mean, that's what you got. I mean, you're working together, but really you're just kind of competing against a lot of other people to prove that you
I want
can
to be
get
that
further.
top zombie slayer for sure.
Are there going to be separate achievements for zombies mode? Get to this wave, you could do this specific thing.
Yeah, they're different achievements throughout. I haven't seen any unlocked, but
I think the notification's off to.
oh yeah, which
to
would
not
make
pop-
sense.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, definitely. It's all tied into like some of it maybe more along discovering some of the secret stuff that we have in there. Some of it is how you approach a situation, like do you steal kills from somebody? Do you kind of go from there.
Someone just activated a DNA bomb.
Yeah,
Is
that
that-
clears out everything. It's like a pulse.
Is that a
just-
thing you get from the 3D printer as well?
Nope, that's from the drops.
Okay.
So if it's a green sort of hologram looking, like the hyper damage with the skull, that sort of does all that.
This person found a good spot here. I just
Yep.
want to point out.
Yep.
Probably for a while, then they're going to come flank.
Speaking of the spot, is there anything that they can do to kind of like place right there besides like a turret to kind of defend themselves? Like if they just want to bunker down in a corner somewhere?
Usually, what we found, I guess, is that players working together really let you hunker down. There's not like a physical thing that you can build or anything. Turrets are great though. They really do help you quite a bit, especially at the early rounds. Eventually, the zombies get pretty tough.
Yeah.
So turrets don't advance as much as they do.
That hyper damage really does some work. The zombies just explode in like 2 bullets.
Yeah.
Would you say the economy is pretty stressed? Like, are you constantly like, okay, I just have enough money for this. I just have enough money for this.
I think it depends on what you want to buy. It really is up to player choice, I guess. It sounds like a lame answer, but we have people that bank and bank and bank, and then we have people that spend right away. So, and it's nice. You can, while you're playing with people, it's like, oh, you should open that door, kind of talking your friends into buying it or not. But I think the economy's pretty tight. Again, when you get to the higher rounds, I think you're more worried about surviving than you are about your credits. So your credits will go up, but also depending on, do you want to buy contact grenades? Do you need to upgrade your weapon? You see a lot of spending going towards just keeping that weapon going better and better.
I feel like at the beginning you'd be like, okay, it's the arms race. Like, let's get up to speed. And then at the end you're just like, now we just got to. Now we just got to go. We got our tools. Let's just
not
do
get
this.
eaten.
Yeah. Are there different difficulties?
There isn't.
Okay.
It all starts out the same, starts out low key. So again, the whole goal is how far can you survive? How far can you make it?
Okay. Everyone's even.
Yep.
It's not like the easy leaderboards or whatever. Yeah.
No.
Okay. Find one for you?
Yeah, kicking
Cool.
it back over to Twitter. Zbot987 wants to know: is there an intricate overarching Easter egg to complete similar to past COD zombie maps?
I don't want to go into too much, I guess, but there's a pretty intricate story point that you can kind of tie into in this map. You have to find it. It's not going to be blatantly in your face. It kind of comes back to, again, like those players that want to do more than just shoot. They want to actually, you know, I mean, obviously this is the core and this is what I love to do. I like to survive, but there's those players that really want to go for more. And so we really want to make sure that we offer that to them. So I guess the short answer could have been yes. But
Is there any kind of tie-in with the single player? I'm trying to avoid asking the question, is this canon? But I'm just going to ask that.
you know, this is a separate world, I guess you could say.
Okay.
We wanted to have that connection with Advanced Warfare. We wanted to make sure that, you know, the ideas that were kind of portrayed through the single player have like a basis here. But at the same time, I know that this won't affect anything like story-wise with those characters moving forward.
Are there any kinds of emblems or skins that you can unlock that then go to multiplayer through your zombies?
We didn't actually do that for this.
Okay.
It has been discussed, and that may be something that we see coming down. What we did instead was, as you upgrade your weapon, every time you upgrade, it'll change its skin. It makes it more powerful. So you'll see a bunch of the camos, and then additionally, there's some new camos that are in there.
I love the shotgun, by the way. I love weapons with great sounds, and this one has maybe the most satisfying sound. I haven't seen the
Cell 3.
yeah, Cell 3,
Yeah.
The rotating barrel
Barrels,
weapon.
yeah.
I want to see that. I don't know if we will. Do you have to be pretty far to get that?
No, and
No?
you can just hit a 3D printer, and hopefully it'll come up.
I love that you just keep saying 3D printer.
Yeah, it's 3D printer. It's a print weapon. So kicking it back over to Twitter, Eric Frazier wants to know: will there be more weapons? Will there be more weapons that are like the cauterizer?
You know, for the first map, we have one weapon, and as we go through the season, you're going to find more and more unique zombie weapons. So, yeah, that's I think one of the great things about having this mode as its own is that we can build off what we want. So,
Right.
Did you just pick up a score multiplier there?
yeah,
Okay.
yep,
I can see that being a little competitive too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is it turns out for everybody.
Oh, okay. Then
So
never
you
mind.
get it,
Then we're
and
good.
yeah. So that's, you know, there's other things. If your buddy goes down, if you revive them, you get some of their cash. You know, there's things like that. So
Do the multipliers stack, or is it more just like, all right, we got to be very specific on much longer?
it's one on. It's a time duration. You can see it's blinking out right now. So during that time, while you're doing that, it's double.
If you saw one on the ground, could you kind of hold off
Yeah.
until a bunch of zombies are coming to pick it up, gun them down?
Again, yeah, it's
Okay.
all those sort of wait, they'll blink out eventually. So if you don't grab it, you miss it. But you know, there's a lot of tactics to maybe you don't want to grab the hyper damage yet because there's not a lot out running around. So you just wait. Same with the care packages; they'll eventually time out. But if there's a ton of zombies, you don't want to risk it. Let's put it that way.
Do the care packages and the power-ups appear on your, like on the map or through the walls as icons or something, or do you just kind of roam and find them?
So the drops, like the little green, you know, the hyper damage and the multiplier, those won't show up.
Okay.
But
oh, right
you
there, I
can see,
see.
yeah, like there's like I guess that's I can see it, right? That's a drone. So someone can grab that. That's a nice little sort of self-aware AI that'll follow you around.
So in all of your extensive play testing, if you get like a really talented group going, are they going to be playing for 45 minutes? Have you seen?
We've had some
Even
pretty
higher?
long, yeah, we've had some longer games, put it that way.
Okay.
I'm actually really excited to see how people can get into this and how long they can take it and where they go with it. That's one of the great things about being able to just make games in general is seeing how it's, you know, how badly did we, or not how badly, but how much can people just really rock at it? Like, that's really cool.
So kicking it back over to Twitter, Chris wants to know: is there going to be a boss wave of some sort?
The term boss wave, I guess, is, so these are the hosts, we call them. They're a wave in itself. So I guess, kind of, you could say yes. There's different waves with different creatures. Like we have the regular zombies, and they're slowly, every round, they're upgraded with Exo, or they have mutators. There's the dogs. They'll show up randomly throughout the game. sort of a nice break, actually, for the dogs if you can handle them. And then there's the host round, which is where it's mostly these host creatures, and what they do is if they hit you, they infect you, and you have a certain amount of time to get back to that cure station and cure yourself. So yeah, in that regard, yes, but there's not like just a singular giant monster or anything like that that you'll be fighting.
So are the players going to be able to predict the waves of zombies so they can kind of plan out like, oh, well, you know, we got dogs coming up next?
It's not, it's not specific prediction, I'd say. We want to have it so you can't just have your straight tactics every time. We want to have a little bit of randomness in there. So you can expect like, hey, maybe 1 through 5, something's going to show up, maybe, you know, sort of rolling that way. We really didn't want to have it so that every time you do something that you're playing the same game.
That's awesome.
We wanted to have that.
Yeah, it'd be hard, I think, to find a good balance between you want it to be consistent because you want players to keep getting better at the same thing.
Yeah.
But you also don't want to feel like the exact same thing all the
static,
time, right?
right?
Man, how do you do that? I don't even know the answer what that would be for that.
Again, I think randomness is just it's not hardcore randomness, right? It's randomness within a plan.
I just like the idea of, I'm sorry, I like the idea of just constantly moving around, right? The idea that you just can't just hunker down in the same spot, and then eventually you can get infected and you have to work as a group, you know, to go cleanse yourself in a way.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to is, you know, you ask like for the longer games. I think if people play together really well, that's where this game mode really shines. Like, it is really a great cooperative game. And at the same time, if you got those players that are maybe a little more competitive, it's great to talk smack when your friends are going down and you're the one who's always reviving them. Stuff like that. Yeah, again. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm usually on that end of it where I'm getting saved. I'm not, but
that's okay.
Still a lot of fun.
That's okay. I would probably be the same for a while.
Yeah, we've got some good players.
In multiplayer, we were talking on those 4 new maps. There's a big emphasis on making sure every playstyle works.
Yeah.
And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but so far I haven't seen a lot of areas where I would want to be like a sniper at all. I feel like that would be a rough time.
The good news with the sniper is that it does a lot of damage in one shot.
So is it like just a body shot kill? That would have been too bad.
It's a good way to just put a lot of power out there.
When we're done, I just want to talk about this camouflage.
Sure. Well, I was just going to say that again. The key for me is if you have a weapon that you like to use and you're good with it, take it because you can always upgrade it.
And you can upgrade. It's not like attachments. It's just you can upgrade like damage or clip size or something like that.
Yeah, as you kind of go through the upgrades, there's different things that'll happen. Scope changes, attachment changes, but really the core is that it gets better, more powerful.
And is there a point where that can you max out and then from there it's just survival?
There is, yeah. At some point in the game, otherwise, there's always that rock paper scissors going forever. So we have a good. It's pretty high though, I would say. Like it's a good amount of upgrades. And while the weapons sort of go progressively upgrading, the zombies will get faster and harder, quicker, put it that way.
So kicking it back over to Twitter,
Yeah.
NeverStopPwning wants to know, will there be exo abilities such as hover?
In this, we don't have exo abilities like the MP exo abilities. I'm not saying that won't be something that maybe will show up at a, that's something that we can discuss. Yeah, but in this one, we really wanted to keep it a little more, a little simpler for people to really digest, like the core fundamental gameplay. So it's really around just the exosuit and how you can upgrade the exosuit there. So there's things like, I think he's got like an exo soldier, which gives you a little more stability, lets you reload faster, things like that. Exo health gives you a little more health, so you're not taken out as quickly.
I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, and then so if you go into last stand, if you get taken down, but you haven't bled out yet, you'll see your exo ability slowly bleed away. And then, so it's sort of like ups the ante on last stand, like you're yelling at your friends, come and save me before my health goes away, things like that, so.
That camouflage we saw, is that, what happened, like you pop in and like they can't see you, or do you rub zombie guts on yourself?
There's no zombie guts. That was discussed, but yeah, it's essentially you get a little bit of time where you're invisible to the zombies. So which may be bad for your friends.
Does it break when you fire?
Nope.
So you're just good to run in.
Yeah, you want to get out. Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Just
using
that mode for a while. Yeah. This is starting to pick up a little bit here.
Yeah, seeing more and more Exos in there. You'll notice them by the flares and the jump packs and the,
Yeah, they're just relentless. They will pursue you.
yeah.
It's pretty scary. Like, you be up here, you're like, I'm safe. Well, no.
Yeah, there's
Not at
nowhere
all.
safe.
So now, is there a specific reason why they're in this room, or is it just kind of just up to these guys? They just want to be here and protect themselves.
Totally up to them. This is it's a nice big room, so someone's bleeding out. Watching
no.
the corner
I
that's
see the
sort of
end.
flashing now, and it'll slowly blink away, unless someone gets to him. But yeah, it's pretty much all what the player wants to do.
Yeah, start planning our strategies now, Brian.
Yeah,
Start
exactly.
picking our spots.
This is a good room, I would admit. Like
It doesn't seem so bad. There's the thing you can activate the trap on the bottom with the lasers.
Yep.
There's high ground. You can't get away from them, but at least it looks like you at least have a few seconds to kind of get up there and get your bearings before they're right all over you again. Yeah, I feel like if you didn't have a close range weapon in this mode, you would be hurting. I just want a shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not too much of a shotgun guy with this.
Yeah.
But Exo-Zombies makes me a believer. It's just brutal because you think, you're used to playing so many hours of zombies, right? And you're used to just being able, all right, if I jump up here, I just block off this staircase. But just looking at it, they're just jumping up there from every which way, and it's tense. It's intense.
it gets super. Yeah, again, like it comes down to that adrenaline. Like when it's higher range too, like they just move so fast and they just light you up so quickly that it's nonstop. It feels really cool.
The thing I like though is that's not gonna feel like disorienting to people, I don't think, because it's like that in multiplayer too.
Yeah, well,
Like old Call of Duty, it's like, okay, if I want to go up there, I need to go find some stairs or something.
Right.
Well, you don't think that way anymore with the Exo-Suit. And so you go into this and you already sort of are like, hey, I have my grounding, like I get what's going on. It's not gonna disorient people, I don't think.
yeah, and it's the controls are really understandable, right? I think that you're not really struggling with controls as much. So again, though, as that blue lightning guy, the EMZ, he'll shut your Exo down. So there's not always like the escape mechanism that you expect. So I think that's
Just watching this, it's getting
Yeah,
starting
this is
to
getting
get
really
serious,
rough.
yeah.
yeah. When you get just a horde of zombies just following you, it gets pretty crazy.
Instantly, I'm trying to think, like, what am I going to do here? I think, like, jumping down, jumping up, like, that might be my thing.
It's weird because, okay, so mobility is probably king, right? It looks like you have to move.
Keep constantly moving.
But they can move as much as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, you just have to hope you're staying one step ahead of them.
Yeah, that's all part of the balancing too. Is we want to make sure that players have ways that they can get away, but not make it so easy that they can get away all the time.
So is there ever going to be a time, like they were in that room for a long time? It's because they wanted to, right? It's not like you go in there and you're like, we got to get this objective. We got to stay in here for 3 minutes.
No.
It's nothing like that.
It's again, we really wanted to let players have their own tactics on how they approach things. So if you find something that works for you, take advantage of it.
What's your personal best?
Oh,
You don't want to share?
no, I'm trying to think. So as you're doing development, first we made it was way too hard, right? And then over time, it's I think our QA team, who are incredibly good at this mode and just really, really good, and our gameplay engineering teams. I think 32 was actually where we were.
Okay, are we, maybe our graphics are kind of covering it up. Is that wave 13? Is that
13.
at the top? Okay,
Yeah.
all right, cool. Okay, just making sure that's what that is.
So they're,
Yep.
you know,
Okay, it's
moseying
32.
along.
So this is 13.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
pretty
telling
serious,
You,
yeah.
It does, and again, this was also in development. So as things tweak and change, I don't know if
course.
they'd be able to get to 32 again, but
Are you planning on updating, tweaking the balance as the game comes out and player feedback comes in? Because multiplayer gets patches for this weapon, this weapon. Is that going to happen as much?
I don't think it. Obviously, I think we don't want to do that. That really changes it for everybody, and unless there's something that we missed, which hopefully we didn't. Like there's an exploit or something, we would fix exploits. Let's put it that way. But I don't think we'd want to mess too much with any of the sort of balance systems.
Yeah, that's smart, because then it's like, well, you got to wave 50. Oh, but you did it when this gun was overpowered or
Exactly.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So kicking it back over to Twitter, Quantum QI Gaming wants to know, is every multiplayer gun available in the 3D printer?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if every multiplayer weapon is. I think we ended up, there's a huge amount of weapons that are, and then as well, there's the wall mount. That's a 3D printer right there. So just got the IMR if they want it. I don't believe that we have all of them for the entire map. Again, there's a lot of balancing.
Right.
And we did our best to make sure that, you know, if you have that gun that you like, there's at least something there. Like if you like the SMG, there's SMG. And then additionally, there's between the wall buys and what's in the 3D printer, you know, wall buys may be a little weaker because you can always go back and you can always get ammo from them, but you can go and upgrade them. So if you really do like that Bulldog or whatever, you can go grab it. It's great at the beginning, but you really do need to upgrade it sooner and sooner.
Can the printer jam?
There is a malfunction that can occur, yes.
Oh. Can you go office space on the printer?
You don't go office space on the printer, which would be cool. Uh-oh.
This looks bad.
Yeah.
This might be the end.
Uh-oh.
We'll see. I still haven't seen the Cell 3, which is like a really cool weapon.
Yeah,
I might pull it out.
I like the idea that. Oh, go ahead. No,
Yeah, we got another interesting question over on Twitter from Above Carcass 9. How many times can you upgrade your gun, and is there special upgrades for certain guns?
That's one I actually don't want to answer. I want people to discover that. Sorry for the lame response, but I think
out there and play, guys.
Yeah, exactly. It's more fun if you don't, if there's if you don't expect what's going to happen. Sorry.
That's fine. Can't give everything away.
Yeah, we can't give everything away.
Oh man.
This isn't looking
They
good.
got a regroup.
This is looking bad. 9 seconds here.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be tough at higher levels to stay coordinated. If everyone's running and trying to stay on the move, if someone goes down 2 rooms away, you're like, okay, I'll come back through like 50 zombies somehow.
Yeah,
I'll try.
I think the cool thing too is that you have those players who like to wander off on their own, and if they're really good, fine, but it really puts a big stumbling block in.
I think a lot of times they might not be the good ones.
Yeah, there's also that.